Today, doing cherry Coke because I can't drink anymore. I mean, I was hungover half of yesterday. I can't drink like I used to when I was a kid. All right, let me start a background. Uh, I've always been a big fan of Axis and Allies. It's just a great board game, right? So you might have heard it on Steam, for example, and Steam has it as a game that you play, but it comes from a board game, right? And sorry about the dogs downstairs if you hear them. Uh, so it starts as a board game, and I love that you can have a game as complex as Axis and Allies that physically represented on a battle on a board, right, in a game board. And there's simplified versions, which I think is a 1941 version. Then you have 1942, which is like the regular version of Axis and Allies, and then you have the 1940 version, which is like the super complex version, which is my favorite. And the board game actually comes in two board games. It's actually if I add this later, I'll show it to you. It comes with a European theater and there's a Pacific theater, and you could join them up together to make one monster board. I mean, it's huge. It's the size of a full size dining room table, if you will. A 6 person dining room table. But we're just going to play uh, the free version, which is developed years and oh god, I must have downloaded this and played this years and years ago. Like, it's got to be the early 2010s, I think, when this came out. I'm thinking off the top of my head, and it's been locked down and it hasn't really been tweaked that much, but it's pretty stable and it works really good. And the free version of this it's called AAA because they can't use the term Axis and Allies. That's obviously trademarked. But AAA is get it Axis and Allies. That's what they called it. And you can download this online, and it comes with its own engine. And then what you do is you download the specific maps, right? And here in the maps, there are different versions that you can download. I'll give you an example. You can click here to download maps, and it doesn't come with any maps. For example, I have multi-screens here. I have to make sure I'm sharing it. Um, Basically, um, you have to go over here to high glow quality experimental. I just stick with the high quality ones. And here are the different maps that you can download. Look at all the different versions of uh, that you can download. The ones that I have installed here are the 1942 and World at War, 1942, which is basically standard Axis allies. Here's the 1941, which is the simplified version, and World at War is the monster 1940 version, right? Yes, it includes World at War 1940 mod, that's a good game, but that's a that's a long game. So we're just going to go over here. The NAP that I have downloaded is World War II version 5, 1942, second edition. It's a tournament edition too. There's only minor differences. So one of the first things, if you download the map, you get map options here. Uh, I always keep them pretty standard. And then the only thing I do here is I like to hurrying on technology development. It gives you an extra role and or extra chance to develop like advanced bombers and advanced super subs and jet fighters and things like that. And it just costs more money in the future. It just kind of adds a little bit more complexity, as if the game needs to be more complex. And one of the first things I do is I just set everybody to hard. Right? Let's make the AI hard. I usually play. I can play every one of these, but I like to play Axis. Right? So I'm just going to do for today. We're just going to do human, and we'll see how I do. It's kind of like a 50-50 percent chance if I actually do well and if I actually beat it, because a lot of times they beat me, right? The game beats me, and sometimes it comes down to luck. There is a fair amount of luck. There's a lot of it is strategy. This is basically let's start play here. This is basically oh, it swung it over here. I don't know why it's doing that. Yeah, it's make that a little bit bigger for you. Why are you again? This is why it's making it small. See again. Yeah, it won't let me do the maximize. It's got to be the way I've set up my multi-screen. So map, you can zoom in, zoom out, and I basically have a standard zoom. It's not the scale. And the reason why it's not the scale is like, for example, the United States, and this is where the board ends. Just that's why it's a straight line. But the way this is set up, you can scroll and map or scroll around and it wraps. But if this was the physical board, it would end here basically, and then you could scroll up and down. But the reason why Europe is represented so disproportionately is because that's really where you're spending most of your time and moving most of your uh, uh, pieces around, for example. And then, of course, if you're playing America or Japan, you're concentrating on the Pacific theater also. Okay, so let me show you. Let me bring this over here. This is what they call the battle strip. Now, on the board game, you would have this. It's a piece of cardboard, right? This is actually the second edition PDF of the actual rules themselves. But I love this, the way this battle strip works. Oh, hang on a second. Let me bring that over. I think this is gonna be a pain because every single time this is gonna come over, it's going to want. You know what? I'm gonna start this game again because we didn't start it. I'm gonna switch my monitors here. And I'm going to make this my primary. Why will you not quit? Close this window. Oh, whoop, sorry. Close window. Yes. All right. Let's move this over here. Let's minimize this. Let's switch my monitors here for a second. Display settings. All right. Let's make this my primary again. This should fix everything. All right. There's my desktop. A little less wonky. All right. There you go. Let's start this again. Bear with me, guys. I'm not a professional. I would be playing this anyway, even if I wasn't live streaming. I think that's the best way to live stream. All right, I'm going to play again. See if this all comes up. Play. Boop. There you go. Okay, good. It's all working. So let's go back to the battle strip. Let's close that. Do I have that open? Oh, I did. See, now I closed it. Let's bring it back up again. Reopen, close tab. Nope. Guess I did close it. It's YouTube Studio. Well, let's just. There it is. Sorry, lost my windows. So, with the battle strip, you have multiple types of units. So think of it like Risk, right? You at Risk, you only have 3 different units. You have the infantry, artillery, and cavalry, right? Which makes sense for the era that it was basically designed for. But this is much more, being World War II, it's much more complex. The basic unit is infantry, which is all over here, right? Infantry is represented on both sides. Oh, by the way, one side's for the attacker and one side's for the defender. The next level up would be tanks, and then you have air units. And then you have artillery. Air units are bombers and fighters. And then you have sea units, which is battleships, cruisers, transports, which is not really a combat unit. And I'm not going to sit there and explain it. I'll explain it as we're playing. I think that's a better way of doing it. But the point is that each one of these units has an attack strength, and then it has a defense strength, and it has a number of spaces that you can move, and then also special rules. Like, for example, tanks can they can blitz. They can blitz through undefended spaces or territories on the board, only if they're undefended, for example. Infantry are fairly cheap, but they don't have a good attack strength. So, for example, here you see the attacker here. If I had infantry, the attacker on a 6-sided dice, right? And you roll for every unit, you roll a 6-sided dice, kind of like Warhammer, if you will, or Risk. If you, in this case, a 1 is actually good, and a 6 is actually bad. So you want to hope for low rolls. Infantry attack with a 1, for example. But if I had a bomber or a battleship, they would win the fight or create a casualty on an attack of 4, for example. And then there's the whole spectrum of in between. Now, if I'm defending, for example, so if I had a bunch of units that were infantry, for example, they would defend with a two, for example, infantry artillery. So infantry have a stronger defense than offense. And they're also cheap. They only cost what they call IPCs. Let's call them $3, right? IPCs are credits or industrial production credits, I believe is what it is. What's this? They call them dollars, right? It only costs them $3, right, to create. But they're really good for defending, and they're cheap, so you can make a lot of them. Now fighters are really good at defending, and so are battleships. But boy, they're expensive, right? And vice versa. Battleships and bombers are really good fighters and battleships. But on offense, bombers and battleships are really good at fighting. Now, the way this works is if I have one infantry attacking another infantry, they take turns, right? But it happens simultaneously. I attack, I roll, and I see if I make a casualty. Then the defender then rolls and sees if they do a counter casualty, if you will. So basically, during a battle, if I had two units, both units can wipe each other out, and then they just destroy each other, and the territory stays with the person who originally owned it. There are special rules. For example, submarines can do a sneak attack. For example, they get to roll first. As there's always an exception, as long as there is not a destroyer in that square that you're attacking. So if I'm attacking a battleship, and I'll show you here, submarines would attack when an attack of two or less, a roll of two or less, can destroy a battleship, which are very expensive. I think they're 18 IPCs or 20. I'll look at it. And the thing with submarines, without a destroyer, without me attacking a destroyer, they will sink the battleship, and there's no counterattack. So there's always an exception, if you will. So, but anyway, let's not go through that. Let's go over to here. Let's play the game itself. All right. So the first round goes to the USSR, right? The USSR gets to, let's move this out of here. USSR gets to attack Germany first. The board is set up the same way every time, right? It is pretty much static, right? And you might say, oh, that kind of stinks. The board is that way every time. It's okay. There's so much variety here, and you can attack through Asia. I could concentrate on the UK. I can move myself through, for example, I could go through Africa if I want. There is no right way or wrong way. There are strengths and pros and cons for each side, right? So the Russians go first, the USSR, and they're attacking me. And then they'll show me here they're attacking in Ukraine. And then now I get to pick my casualties because, like I said, they're attacking me. So usually you pick the cheaper stuff first, but you get a choice if you want to lose a plane, for example, and there's a reason for that. We'll go into it later. So hit OK. They kill my units, but see, in the counterattack, I killed two of those. Let me make sure I'm sharing. Why is this popping up over there? I should be sharing. Just bear with me. I should be sharing my. It's probably not going to let me do it. I don't even remember how to do this before. I should be sharing my my speaker over here. I guess not. I mute it. Stop sharing. No. I'm looking at the settings here, guys, so bear with me. All right, well, I'll figure this out later. Well, the point is you're seeing the screen. Let's just go with that. Okay, so they're still battling me. Now in this case, they attacked me. They killed one of my infantry, and down here, I killed two of their attacking infantry. So they're going to keep attacking. And see, the computer's rolling. It's not as pretty as the Steam version of Axis and Allies, but it works. I'm actually doing really good. They're attacking. I mean, they still won. The big thing for this is to make sure that you're outspending, right? The actual, why, I don't know why that's popping up over there. Uh, that you're outspending the other people. So in other words, if you're doing an attack, okay, I'm sorry, I'm just concentrating on this, seeing what happens. If you're attacking somebody, you can win a battle, and now the computer's moving. And still technically win the battle, but lose because I spent more money on units, more expensive units than the people that I was attacking. Remember, I said infantry costs 3, for example. Tanks are double; they cost 6. The one numbers here are attack, defend, and move. So, for example, infantry they attack with 1, as I said before. They could defend with 2, and they could only move 1. Now, tanks armor they can attack with. They have a attack with 3. They could defend with 3, and they can move 2. Now, it's slightly different, I believe, for every unit. There can be special rules for different factions or different countries. I don't think that we're playing with that in this case. So if we look at the fighters. See, fighters here, they can attack with a 3, defend with a 4, right, and then they can move 4, right, spaces. Um, Now that's tricky because it's really 2 if you're moving someplace attacking, because you gotta have to have enough fuel to come back, for example. So bombers move 6, so it's 3 and then 3 back, unless you're landing at a territory adjacent to them. Again, I'll show you guys as we get going here. Now, what I do is I'm Germany, so I have a lot of units that I started with. Again, 1942, but and I pile everything into armor as much as I possibly can. And well, maybe I'll take one down and I get a fighter, right? Just for a variety, and it helps me out. Uh, the allies will eventually outspend you. They will make more money right away. So if I hit done here, see, these are the units. The first turn is you pick what you're buying or what you're producing, right? But you don't place them yet. You place them at the end of your turn. Now, if I hit done, it goes combat move, right? Now I get to pick where things are moving, right? And where they attack. Again, I produced all these units down here, but you don't put them until the end. So you have to plan, of like, okay, do I need a factory, or do I need 8 tanks, or do I need a battleship? Well, I'm not going to use them this round, but I got to be able to build it at the beginning of the round. So you got to kind of plan it out. So my whole goal here is, I'm looking at them. If you're looking at the map here, yeah, it's showing. I need to take these 2 territories here, because otherwise the Soviet Union or Russia is going to try to produce and just way overproduce infantry here, and it's going to make it super difficult for me to take these territories. They're just going to pile more and more. Again, historically correct. They're going to put more and more infantry in here, and just really make it difficult for me to take any territories, right? They're just going to go way on a defense. So I got to get into these territories as soon as possible. Once I do that, then I can start concentrating. Well, do I want to go to India, or do I want to go into North Africa, for example, or do I want to go to UK? Okay, so let's think about Russia first before we think about the Atlantic, right? I want to pile into here. I like to count units. There's ways that you can do calculators, and it kind of takes the fun out of it. How many tanks do I have, and how many infantry, and you can see what the chances are of winning depending on what the rolls are. I just kind of count how many units as a shorthand that I'm throwing in here. So, for example, there's 4 units defending in Ukraine. So I have to have more than 4 units in order for me to have a hope of winning this battle, right? So let's put 1 tank. We're gonna put a fighter. We're gonna take 2 infantry. Okay, I'm gonna take this tank, and I'm gonna take I'll take these 2 infantry and put them in here too. Now, what about Baltic? Well, Baltic, I'm gonna take 2, right? I'm gonna take 2 of my infantry, put it in this transport up here, There's a rule for transport. They can hold 2 units, which is 1 infantry and 1 artillery, or 1 infantry and 1 tank, right? Or 2 infantry. I'm going to put it into the here, and I'm going to drop it off in Karelia, because I'm focusing on trying to get these factories as fast as possible. I could relax a little bit once I get these factories, not a lot, but a little bit. Okay, I'm going to take 2 of my tanks, and I'm going to put them in here. I'm going to take my plane. I'm going to attack in here, and I'm going to take my 3 infantry and throw them into Karelia. That should take care of Karelia. Let's take a plane. What do I want to do? Well, let's not worry about the planes. Yeah, I'll worry about the lowest, the ground units first. Let's take a tank, throw them in there, and you could undo it as soon as when I hit done. That kind of locks everything in. But as I'm kind of maneuvering here, I want to take this plane. I'm going to put it in Karelia instead. This is a guarantee I take this. Put a tank in here. Now, this is what I normally do. I'm going to take these 2 units and I'm going to put them in Africa because I'm going to use them for later. I'm kind of thinking ahead, right? This is a battleship. Battleships have 2 hits, right? They have 2 hit points. Almost everything here has 1 hit, meaning you hit it, that's it. It dies. Battleships is the only exception. And I'm going to destroy, this is UK. I'm going to try to destroy its destroyer. Fun fact there. Why are destroyers, those little ships, are why they call destroyers, even though they're small? It's because they were originally developed to be what they call PT, patrol boat destroyers, or torpedo boats, or tiny boats, basically. And they get close enough to launch torpedoes at the capital ships, which are very expensive. So you have a little boat that can sink a large ship, like a battleship or a cruiser. Well, then they developed destroyers, or PT boat destroyers, in order to counter them. So they're little fighting ships, smaller fighting ships, and then they eventually became really good at fighting submarines. So they were submarine destroyers also. So that's why they're called destroyers. So fun fact there. All right, I'm going to take this plane, and I'm going to try to get this cruiser here. Now, cruisers are only 1 hit point. I'm going to really concentrate on him, and I'm going to throw a bomber at it too. Now, nothing's guaranteed. Like this cruiser can kill both these units if I roll really, really badly. Hopefully, I won't. I'm worried here. This transport's is undefended here. It's going to die. The unit is eventually going to kill this one way or another, even if it's defended. So I'm not really worried about too much. I'll build another one. All right. I'll move my infantry here to defend. I'll move my infantry here. I'll move them west. Actually, let me undo that one. I'll move them out of France. I'll move them west also. Okay. So I'm going to take my 2 boats, my 2 U-boats, submarines, and I'm going to try to destroy this battleship and the British battleship and the British transport. I'm going to take my now I'm going to leave my cruiser here so it defends this. They're really close to the planes, and I want to see if I can get at least 2 rounds before these guys die. And I'm going to try to take my subs, and I'm going to attack these guys. Now, here's the thing: is there's a destroyer. If I'm attacking any square with enemy destroyers in it, it negates any special rules that or sneak attack rules that submarines have, right? Any stealth submarines have. Let's take my planes. Let's throw them over here to give them a little plus. Let's take my 2 tanks. Let's throw them over here. I think we're good. I can't move. I'm not going to attack yet. Let's take artillery, move them here. I'm getting ready to attack Egypt eventually. I'm not sure. The computer isn't very consistent. A lot of times they'll move their units out of here when they think they're going to get ganked by somebody, or they pile in. So we'll see. I do a quick look. I'm attacking. I'm attacking a lot of squares. Normally, I don't attack these many, but in the beginning game, you want to attack if your axis as hard and as fast as possible, because this is the only time you're going to have these many units until maybe later on, and you conquer a lot of territory. All right, when I'm comfortable, I hit done. It goes, all right, do I want this special rule again? Do I want to conduct a naval bombardment in Sea Zone 5, which is, I think this is this 5? What the heck is 5? Oh, 5, right here in the Baltic. Because what a naval bombardment is, it gives me an extra role if I have a cruiser or a battleship, if I'm landing or doing an amphibious landing. And I did. Remember, I took units from Germany and I brought them over here through the Baltic and dropped them in the Karelia. I dropped 2 infantry. Wow. The idea is the cruiser's here with it, and it's over here, and it can give me a naval bombardment. Don't have to, but I'm just going to say yes. I want it. Okay, here are all the battles, right? So let's do, I like to do the sea zone first. So I centered on, I like to hit center on the sea zone. And this is 17, and this battle is going to happen. So it's only 2 units here. The battleship should win because it has a attack of 4 or less on a 6-sided die, and it has 2 hit points, whereas the destroyer, I think, is 2. Yeah, 2 or less. So I should definitely win this. Okay. So what happens here is, you saw pretty fast, my battleship rolled a 6. Remember, 6 are bad, right? Which is the opposite of like Dungeons and Dragons, right? 6s are bad, 1s are good, right? You want, and it's going to say, okay, I rolled and I didn't get anything. Do I want to retreat or do I want to remain? I'm going to say I'm going to remain. And he's going to have a chance. Let me make this smaller. He's going to have a chance to counterattack, right? And he counterattacked. Oh, and I guess I got him. I'm sorry. I'm misinterpreting because I rolled a 6. Oh, I guess it's because this is the second round of fighting. I'm losing my mind here. Bear with me. It's late. It's 10 o'clock here. So I rolled a 4. Doesn't matter because I killed him. And oh no, I rolled. He rolled a 4 and he didn't make a hit. I wish I would have showed you what a battleship can take 2 hits, but he didn't. All right, I won that fight. Notice his piece got taken away like chess. Gets taken off the board, and I move on to the next battle. So what's the next sea zone? If I hit center, it's over here in the Mediterranean. Man, now there's 2 planes attacking this cruiser, the British cruiser. I'll hit the battle. It initiates the battle. So I hit because I rolled, one of my units rolls a 3, right? Which is, remember, I think it's the bomber. Yep, the bomber attacks with 4 or less. I rolled a 3, which is good, and you can see it because it's red, right? And then actually, I did both. I'm sorry, I did it. He attacked, he killed it. I think it went so fast, and then he rolled back, right? And he rolled a 3, and now I have to pick who dies out of these 2. So I go over, click here, and I'm going to pick my fighter. Why am I picking my fighter? Because it's cheaper than the bomber, right? But it was worth it to get rid of this cruiser. He dies, right? So I lost a fighter, but I killed his cruiser. Sorry, the battle went so fast. I thought it would go a little bit slower, and you can see what would happen. I think there's a way you can slow that down under options. There's a lot of game options here. Okay. Let's see what the next sea zone is. That old sea zone. Okay. So I have 2 U-boats attacking it's a transport, but transport isn't part of combat, and a destroyer. Now remember, if there's a destroyer, it's special powers and negates any special hiding abilities or special seek attacks that subs have. So they really become just like 2 units fighting each other, but it's 2 against 1 still. So let's do this battle. Now I roll, I hit him, and he hit me back with a roll of 2. So just watch down here. Let me make this a little smaller so you guys can watch it a little bit better. Okay, so I lost a U-boat, but he lost his destroyer. But when you lose a battle, your transports aren't combative. You lose them automatically. Okay, and let's go to the next sea zone, the last one, which is right here in the the gap between Iceland and Ireland. So it says here, okay, I have subs. Do I want to submerge them? Do I want to keep them in battle, remain them, or I got asked me like I never do that. So I just say remain because since they're subs and there's no destroyer, I can actually submerge, and it kind of like takes them out of the battle if I want to. But no, I want them attacking the battleship, so I'm going to say remain. Okay, see how it hit him, and it didn't destroy the battleship because battleships require 2 hits. Select the casualty, and one of my casualties is U-boat. So I'm going to say remain. I have to hit him one more time in order to sink him and sink the transport also. Remain. Okay, there you go. I hit, and then he hit me back. So I'm gonna pick another sub because I want to keep my planes. All right. Technically, I won. I lost both my subs though. Yeah, such is life. Okay, now let's go to Ukraine. Okay, now I pick one battle. So 1-1, and it says you want to retreat or remain. I'm going to say I want to remain. All right, that was a good one. I picked all these, and you see the rolls over here, and then he didn't. He got me one more back. I have one more tank left to kill. Remain, and he hit me for another infantry. So it killed 3 infantry, right, against 2 tanks, an artillery, and 1 infantry. That's a good day. Again, I outspent him on this battle. Not only did I get the territory, but I only lost 3 infantry, which are pretty cheap. They only cost 3 each, against 2 expensive tanks, 1 fairly expensive. It's only slightly expensive artillery, and an infantry. All right, and there you go. Now I have Ukraine. Here's another rule too. Since I just conquered this territory, I can't land my plane here. My plane has to land in a territory that was owned by me before combat started, which makes sense. I just took this territory. I like to think of it as you haven't had a chance to prepare an airfield to land, all the support that goes with it. Okay, let's go to Baltic. Here's Baltic. There's only one infantry and 1 artillery. So it says, do I remain? So he killed 2 of my tanks and one of my against one of his infantry. So it's a little expensive, but I need that territory. So I'm going to say remain. See, you see the rolls happening. So I won, but I lost 3 tanks, and he only lost 2 cheap units here. That kind of hurts a little, but I need that territory. I got to keep this contiguous. I need to be able to roll units out of Germany into Karelia and beyond, right? Okay, now Karelia is the last one. Okay, it's going to roll. So it rolled. You saw the rolling that was happening. The computer does it pretty quick, but we missed. All these units missed, which is ridiculous. It happens, and this unit missed on a counterattack. So it's going to say, well, what do I want to do? Do I want to retreat, or do I want to remain? I want to remain because I gotta get that territory. I gotta get Karelia. It's part of my strategy. Okay, I killed it, and then he shot me back, and I have to pick my casualty. Okay, all right. So let's think about it. So all the combat's done. And then the next turn is a non-combat roll, which means I could consolidate any units that weren't moved or weren't part of combat can be moved at this time. Planes have to go back to a safe harbor or a safe territory so that it can land and presumably refuel. So depending on how many spaces the planes moved. So in this case, my bomber, I only moved him twice before, so he's got 4 more left because there's 6 total. I'm going to move him back to Germany. I'm going to move my fighter back. I'm going to move him. I like to put him in the center. I'll put him in Poland. Pull him back here. I'm going to pull both of these fighters. I put him over here in the Netherlands. and because I could attack stuff north, I could attack stuff south if I have to with my planes. I'm just checking here. There's nobody else. No. Okay. I can't move anything else. I moved everybody that I had to. Done. Okay. Now this is the end. Combat moves are done. Combat is done. Non-combat is done. And now I do place the units that I bought at the beginning of the turn based on what I think I need, or how my battles were going to turn out. I bought 5 tanks in 1 plane. Well, I can't place. I just took this territory, just like with the planes landing. I can't build on a factory that I just took over, right? I haven't converted it yet. I like the way I think of it, right? It's hasn't been taken over fully yet, enough to make it production. And then I got 5 tanks and a plane, obviously. So I'll put them all in Germany. And they all throw them all over here. And that's it. I collect my 41 IPCs or production units. And I'll get that at the beginning of the next round. Okay, now UK goes. And UK is going to attack me. I don't know why that screen's coming over on the other screen here. Okay, he's going to attack my battleship with a cruiser and a plane. So he already hit me once. Remember, there's 2 hits that a battleship can take. I killed his plane. He hit me again. And, he killed my battleship. I knew he would, but I killed his plane. Kind of sucked because he actually won that one really well. You want them to outspend you when it comes to casualties. If a battle happens, I want to destroy 6 IPCs to their 3 or whatever, for example. You want to kill more units, worth of units, than they do damage to me. I probably said that wrong, but you get the point. This is all. Now, what Japan's probably going to try to do is they're going to try to take the Indochina, Southeast Asia, and then try to go for India, and at the same time move east and eventually move into Hawaii and eventually to the West Coast. I usually ignore Australia, other than try to destroy the British Navy. All right, now it's America. Just built a bunch of stuff, and now it's the Soviet Union is going to start with. Soviet Union is going to try to take back Ukraine and Karelia, and try to shore up and defend the crap of the area before I try to take Russia. I'm going to try to take Russia as fast as possible. And why did you popped up over there on the other screen? Why did you make yourself so big? There it goes. I don't know why. Let's make it a little smaller. Multi-screen's a little wonky today. Okay, so Russians are attacking. Where are they attacking me? In the Ukraine. I only got 3 units. I knew it would be hard to hold, but I'm going to wear them down. And they're attacking me with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 units. They're going to win, but I hope that I do a lot of damage to them. No. See, 3 against 1, so they didn't do a lot of damage. All right. Again, the way I say, give me all tanks because I need them all, at least for the next round. What do I want to do? I'm going to start taking the Ukraine. I want to start shoring up Karelia and start moving this slightly, but I gotta get some more units in here, and then now I'm going to take Egypt. And if I get a chance, I'm going to see if I could defend this a little bit better, because I know the United States is going to start coming in and start landing in France or Morocco. So one of the special units that we could do, and I just built all tanks. One of the things I'm going to do with a bomber is a bomber can come in here, and then it's going to say, okay, do I want to bomb or attack? Attack is what I just showed you. It's combat. But I could do what they call a strategic bomb, which basically every point that I roll here for the battle, it's actually stealing money away. But they can fire back at me, and try to destroy that bomber too. So it can be expensive. All right, so that's what I want to do here. I want to try to get this beaten down as much as possible. Try to get money out of Russia, if you will. They're kind of, you know, economically poor, if you will. They don't make a lot of money, but they make enough money to make a lot of infantry and make it really tough for me to take over the capital right here, which is Russia. All right, let's take Ukraine. All right, that's not a combat. That's not a combat move. I'm going to put all my tanks, because remember, tanks move too. I'm going to take a plane. I'm going to take my 3, 4 plane attack. Plane attack here. There's nothing that these planes. I usually hang these planes over here just to kind of keep these ships at bay. And see what he did. He moved his units out of Egypt because he knew I was going to start attacking. And he's going to die. He's going to attack this, so I might as well use him. You know what? I'm going to use him. I'm going to try something different. I'm going to put him in Gibraltar. And take Gibraltar over. All right, so I have a plan in my head. With Russia, I'm going to try to get to Russia as fast as possible. But before I do that, I have to make sure that these factories are in my control. These are just bonus. Archangel and West Russia. It helps. It helps give me extra IPCs or credits, 2 and 1 or 3 total. But it also gives me 3, but it takes 3 away from Russia that they can buy units. So, okay, it's good. I don't. All my navy is dead because Britain always destroys my navy fast. So, all right, I think we're okay. I'm gonna take a plane and that's not a combat move. So, all right. So what I did is this bomber, remember, was attacking the factory, and so he didn't get shot down, and he only rolled a 1, so it caused 1 damage to the factory, which isn't great, but whatever. That limits. I believe the Caucasus is 4, if I remember. Yeah, 4. You can see the 4 down here. So now, instead of producing 4 units, they can only produce 3 units until and it's going to cost them money to repair that factory. Right. All right. Let's do Egypt. Okay. Good. All right. 1 Egypt. Good. Which means I'm going to start moving south, and I'm going to start moving into Jordan and start moving into Persia, and then eventually putting pressure on India. Okay, I got to get Ukraine. All right, so the reason why I won so much is when you attack with a lot of units, if I'm attacking with 8, 9, 10 units, that means that's 10 dice rolls. Now, remember, I showed you that board. I'm kind of explaining this poorly, but these are the rolls that are required to win or create a casualty. You would have seen his units up here too. The infantry would have been here in 2. Look at it next round, and then the artillery would have also been here. Let me hover over it. Yeah, artillery defended too. So all of his units would have been here. I'm an attacker, so my tanks and my fighter are going to attack with 3 or less. Remember, the smaller the number, the better. And then my infantry, which are terrible at attacking at offense, they win with a roll of 1 or less, or just 1, basically. So I did all these casualties, and he didn't do any damage. These were his rolls, his 4. Notice that they're not 2 or less, so he missed all those. There you go. I won that. So next round, I'm going to start taking these and attacking here. Now I notice Britain is going to start putting units in here to try to help defend the Caucasus from Germany myself. So I got to be ready for that. Let's talk about West Russia. There's only 1 unit here. I should be able to gank him pretty quick, and I did because there was a fighter and 3 infantry, and he has to roll 1 or better, or 2 or better in order to get that rolling and to win that battle and cause a casualty. See the 2. See, we missed. We both missed. That's why you saw the rolls going so fast. Because we missed. He missed. So I'm gonna remain up. I hit him, and he hit me back. So I was a casualty, and I'm gonna pick one of my infantry. Infantry are cheap, so usually when you attack with tanks and planes and stuff, you want to have at least 1 or 2 infantry to absorb, some damage before it gets to you more expensive units like fighters and armor. All right, so I won these 2. They're going to be really hard to hold because, like I said, Russia is going to try to push into and take these territories back. Okay, that's it. I'm looking over here to see if there's any more combat. There isn't, and the computer moves me into non-combat. So, got to take my planes back, right? Put them into territories that I own. And there's no other planes. No other planes. That's good. Okay. And then now good thing is it's reminding me there is in Ukraine. So I can say keep moving. Oh, it's this guy right here. I got to move him. I'll put him in Poland. Forgot all about that. Remember, I can't leave him in a new territory that I just took over. And I place all my my tanks. Now I can't. There's no factories over here. I had Carolina at the beginning of the battle, so I could place. Carolina only has a 2. It only produces 2 IPs dollars for me, so I can only put 2 units in there maximum. You can see how it grays out. I can't put any more. So, yep, places 2, and the rest I'm just going to throw into Germany. All right, done. Then I collected 46. And now it goes to England. England is now going to try to do its best against me and Japan. Japan is controlled by the AI. All right, he really didn't do a lot to come. He really just plussed up and did some bombing. And that's it. Now Japan's going to try to take over the rest of China, which is represented by the United States, because the United States historically had units helping China. Oh, he's trying to take Alaska fast. Okay. Normally he doesn't go into Alaska until 3rd or 4th round. And they strategically bombed Russia, the capital territory. Okay. Now it's America. Yeah, now America purchased, and now, yep, they're rolling into Gibraltar. They won. Now, why is Gibraltar important? Because they can take planes and they can land them here and stage them, right, and roll them through and bomb me way deep into northern Africa. See, look, he in Russia took over Archangel in West Russia, right? They would, but I'm trying to make it as expensive as I can for them. Now, England bombed Germany, and remember I said strategic bombing? Well, this is what it looks like when you're getting bombed. You're getting strategic bombed. They did 2 damage, so I'm going to use. Not only did it take away how my maximum production is 10 in Germany, so technically I can only put 8 units in here maximum, but I'm going to repair it, right, and bring them back up. But it cost me two units, $2, 2 credits in order to do that, which is fine. Okay. What do I want? Now, let's move this over here, and I'm going to show you guys what I'm thinking. It's always good to have planes. It's always good to have ships. Planes first, in my opinion, and then ships. Gives you the ability to have options, right? But I need tanks. I got to take down Russia. You can't do it planes alone, and you can't do it with just infantry either. Or you could, but it's really tough. But I want to start building units here in Egypt. So I'm going to build a factory. I should be able to keep Egypt until the beginning of the next round. I should be able to start building. If I drop this factory here at the end of this round and start producing tanks, I can only put 2 tanks in here every round, but it's something. Rather than trying to roll it through Caucasus or using a transport to roll them through Germany and through Italy. Let's build the heck out of our armor, and let's start. I'm going to start putting defensive units here in Germany. All right, done. Okay, now I go back to combat. So what am I going to do here? I'm gonna split my attack here for Egypt. I'm gonna put one here, one here, one here, one here. I'll put two, 3 and 2. The reason why I put the tank here is because I could roll through here. Tanks can blitz, and I could take all these territories really fast. And I'm actually going to take a plane and throw it down here eventually. Fighter. Not plane, a fighter. Okay, let's take a look over here. In 4, 8, 9, 10 units. This is going to be tough to take Caucasus. Let's take all my units. That's 9, 10, 11, 12. I'm going to bomb Russia. Well, no. You know what? I'm going to bomb Caucasus and attack it. I'm going to use that bomber as kind of a ground support. And I'm going to attack, not strategic bomb. What are my planes doing here? 2 here. What are they going to do? I'm not going to have them doing anything. I'm going to have them defend. I'm going to take one plane, put it here. Let's have one plane. I mean, technically, I shouldn't really be. That's the only thing I don't like about this game is that it lets me do non-combat moves when I'm trying to be disciplined. If you're not supposed to do non-combat related moves until the next round, this game lets you do it because it's not that sophisticated. It doesn't know kind of things you're going to do something in support. Can't move, can't attack with these. I don't want to attack with those. I'm going into Caucasus. I'm attacking and I'm attacking. Okay. Fair enough. All right, let's see what Sudan. Nope, I missed and he missed. So you saw no casualties here. Remember, I have to roll a 1 and a 3 and he or lower, and he has to roll 2 or lower. Oh, I killed him and he did not do any casualties back to me, which is good. That was a good battle. All right, let's look at Jordan. All right, or the Middle East. Look, I did the same thing. I attacked. I killed him. He has to roll 2 or better, and he didn't. He rolled a 3. So there you go. Oh, 11 o'clock. That's why my lights went out. I have the Philips Hue lights all over the house, and usually 11 o'clock, all the lights are starting to turn off. But I got this ring light up here. All right. And I got one battle here, which is arguably the most important, because I gotta get the Caucasus, and I gotta keep the Caucasus, or at least keep the Caucasus out of Russia's hands, so that I can eventually outproduce them, or at least keep this in flux, so that he's not using the money from the Caucasus, which is to produce units. If I could take this and hold it, I could start producing tanks and throwing them in the Caucasus, and so I really start pressuring like Moscow. So let's go to battle here. This is a pretty large battle. Look at all the ones he did. I rolled good for 6 and killed 6 of his units. And then he rolled 2, so I got 2 casualties, right? These are his rolls. All right, so I'm going to say 1 infantry and 1 tank. Still got a lot left. All right, what do I want to do? Do I want to remain? And I do. Or I could retreat. I could choose to roll back if I want, but I don't want to now. I got to get these guys dead. Good. I killed them all. And wow, he killed 4 of my guys as a counterattack. 4 tanks, and that's it. I'm keeping all my planes. Still, that was a little expensive. So what's left of that battle? My 3 tanks are left, 3 fighters, and 1 bomber. Successful, but it was a little pricey for me, a little expensive. Okay, no more combat left. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull my planes back. I'll pull them back to Poland. Pull my bomber back to Germany. Now look what the United States is doing. Right, they're starting to build a transport train, if you will, so they can start rolling guys out of. Look at 12 for the United States today, and 6 for Central United States. They could just make a conveyor belt of units and start throwing them into Africa, or even France, for example, or even throwing them into England. So I got to be real careful about this. I'm gonna keep an eye on that. But I gotta knock Russia down, and I gotta rock Russia down quick. Anything else here? No. All right. So there's no other planes that go back. All right. I'm gonna put a factory in Egypt so I can start building tanks down there. I'm gonna put 2 more tanks in Karelia, and I'm gonna throw everything. I already saw there was a mistake. There was 5 tanks in here, and I should have rolled them. Out here. And see, I'm kind of talking to you guys. It's not your fault. It's my fault. And I forgot to move these guys out. All right, whatever. You make mistakes. It's a complex game. Okay, now this is what are they doing? They're bombing. Oh, they're bombing both my factories. So that's going to be costly. And it's shoring up. India. Okay, makes sense. That's what I would do. Oh, here's a battle. Oh, it makes it a weird size like that. All right. Now, I think I'm going to do this game is for like Axis and Allies veterans, and stuff is moving really, really fast, and I'm really should spending more time. The Steam version of Axis and Allies kind of like has a lot more eye candy, and you can see dice rolls and things like that. And I don't have the patience for that, but for a live stream, I think that would be much better. Okay, remember I said that the UK had bombed the Caucasus and bombed Germany, so they're on fire here. So I get a chance to repair. So the Caucasus, I definitely want to repair because I need to start building units here. Germany, I could repair a little. I rather let's do 3. Yeah, because I could build units here, and here. I'm not going to throw a lot of units over here in Germany. So I'm going to hit done. Done repair. And now what do I want to build? Okay, I'm going to build. I throw everything into tanks. See what I got left over, and I'm like, because I know I need tanks, and then I might back it down a little in order to buy. I'm going to start buying. I'm going to start buying defensive stuff. I'm going to start throwing artillery. Artillery are really just infantry, which is a little bit more expensive, seeing 3 and 4 instead of 3, and they have an attack of 2 rather than 1, and also they have an additional power. They can make 1 infantry attack with a 2, also, which is nice. But let me bring that down. How many can I get? I want to put more infantry in this rollover. Yeah, we'll do that. All right, combat. I gotta get these out of here. 1, 2. Whoops. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1. All right, good. So I'm getting all those guys that were here in the fight. I'm gonna leave him there for now. You know what? I'll do that. Let's take these tanks. Let's get really aggressive. Let's take my planes, get them into the battle. Okay. They're really plussing up. There's no way that's going to go bad. I'm going to pull. Now I'm looking down here in Africa. UK is putting a crap ton of guys over here. Plus, I have all these guys that America just dropped off. So I'm going to roll all the way down to South Africa because I'm trying to pick up these credits. And see, tanks can do that. They're undefended and they can roll too. And I'm going to roll this guy. I'm not going to get greedy. I'm going to roll him. I'm going to pull him back to Egypt because I know he's going to start rolling up here. And I'm going to keep these guys. Well, no. I'm going to roll these guys back here. I'll leave one guy here. Because I'm watching these guys. I don't think they're just going to get too aggressive and attack into Jordan. He might. But he ain't going to keep it. Not when we be building tanks here. Or I could roll south. All right. So, quick review. Getting really aggressive, trying to take all of these Russian properties. I'm butting right up against Russia. There's a lot of units I could kill here. I got to watch out. See, Japan is helping me too. They're helping me pressure against India. Once Russia falls or India falls, the game gets a little bit easier. But that's the only way you're going to win as Axis. You have to make Russia fall. Russia, the property fall. The capital, Moscow, fall. Let's call it Moscow. You have to make Moscow fall, or you have to make India fall, right, into your property. And think about it in real life, that the Allies really had the upper hand the whole time and kept it, But if either one of these fell, who knows how history would have turned out? We'd all be speaking, Sprechen Sie Deutsch by now, Okay, center balance. I'm going to quickly go through these battles. Good, I won, and he killed the tank too. So it's 1 for 1, but I got the property. All right, let's go to Ukraine. Remember, Ukraine, I gotta kill it, and I gotta keep it. All right, good. So tank for an infantry. All right, not bad, and I get the property. All right, West Russia. These are just bonuses. Oh, good, I got it. No casualty back. Okay, let's go to Archangel. Same. I killed his infantry. No casualty back. Pretty good. Let's see if I could keep it. That's really the trick. Okay. There's no more other combat. Let's pull everybody back. I should have. See, I made a mistake. I should have used the bomber and to at least maybe attack the UK, and I didn't, or attack Russia. Let's pull the planes back. I'm going to pull all these planes back to Caucasus, which helps it defend this area. I'm going to pull bomber down here. Oh, no, I'm going to use this. Oh, you know what? I'm going to pull it down here. I'm going to use this as to help battle down here. I've never done that before, but it might work. I'm going to start attacking Gibraltar down here. I'll pull my plane farther south. All right, we're looking good. Now, what I'm thinking here is I'm going to build tanks, right? And then I'm going to throw some of this defensive stuff into Europe. In fact, I'm going to take artillery and put it there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start pressuring down and over. I'm going to try to get Russia. I'm going to be really aggressive and get all of these tanks and airplanes into Russia and kill it as fast as possible. And here, I'm just going to try to take as many properties here, territories here, properties like a freaking monopoly. And I'm going to try to attack and get as many properties down here and keep United States at bay. Because look what United States is doing. The Americans are just throwing units and putting them down here. Now, at least I got a factory, so I could, if I'm not stupid, I could probably hold this and keep it, especially if I'm throwing planes down here from Europe. Okay, I'm gonna hit done. Okay, now I get to place what I have. Okay, so the first thing I'm gonna do is in Caucasus, I'm gonna throw 4 tanks in there. Okay, Karelia, I'm gonna throw 2 tanks in there, which is the maximum, 4 and 2. That I could do. And then Germany, I'm going to put 2 infantry. You know what? No, I'm Carolia. I'm going to put 2 tanks in here instead. I think I should have enough tanks and planes in order to take Russia. We'll see. We'll see if I'm right. Okay, now it's UK. Let's see what UK does. All right, UK is bombing me. Oh, they did attack Jordan, which is down here. It's okay. I kind of thought he would. He ain't going to go that too far away from India because Japan's going to start coming down here and pressuring India. And I'm going to start pressuring them from the Caucasus. Oh, Japan's going to start taking. See, we're whittling down on Russia from both sides. Let's see who wins there. See, here's the battles that they're doing. I'm actually kind of glad that there's a battle screen here. It's popping up on my other monitor. I'm actually glad that it is showing because you get to see what's happening on this map. This is the screen that you were seeing, but I don't need it. Oh, it's probably better that you're seeing the big map. It's a happy coincidence that that's happening. America's really trying to move into Africa. Again, not my major focus here. And they won. Oh, Japan's winning. All right, now it's Russia. Look up here. Purchase, non-combat moves. They moved. So what Russia did was, let me just close that. What Russia did was, yeah, see, it's like 10, 4, 1, and then two planes. Yeah, they're just going into defensive mode, and they're really hunkering down and entrenching. So, all right, so let's go back to repair. Caucasus, I'm going to repair everything. Germany, I'm going to repair. Not everything. I'll repair. 4. That's enough. Done. Okay, what do I need? I need, let's think this through. I need 4 tanks for here. I need 2 tanks for here at minimum. And I don't really need any more tanks, right? Because I'm not really blitzing anywhere other than once I take Russia, I'm blitzing south and I'm on both sides. So the rest I'm going to throw into, I'm going to take 1 plane, 1 fighter, and then that's a lot. 13. That's a lot. My pattern is I usually try to build 2 infantry and 1 artillery. Because they're a good complement, right? Remember, artillery pluses up 1 artillery can plus up 1 infantry, and then I have another infantry as kind of like a bullet sponge. 8. Let's do 6, and then I'll do another plane. There you go, perfect. 6, 3, and then I have the rest. Oh no, I didn't do my tanks. Damn it! What am I doing? 4, 5, 6, 6. Pull that down. I really need to defend Germany. This is making me nervous because they're gonna come rolling up here, Americans eventually. Okay, here are my tanks that I'm building here in the Caucasus and the Egypt. And the rest is just an extra plane for defense, and I'm going to start shoring up here in Europe, getting ready for the Americans doing a Normandy invasion. Okay, now we're going to attack. So how many? It's 10, 14, 15, 16, 17. There's 17 units here. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. I wish I had more in here to make this a better battle, but I'm telling you, I'm going to make him hurt. I'm going to make him hurt. All right, let's roll him up here. I don't want to get him. I'm trying to get these guys into a more defensive position. I'm going to do something really risky. I'm gonna bomb this infantry out here because I'm just trying to whittle him down. Because it should be an easy attack. But if the infantry rolls a 1, that little lonely infantry can kill that bomber. But I'm going to try just to show you. I'm going to pull a plane. I'm going to pull a plane down here, a fighter. Actually, I shouldn't do that until next round. Okay, that's all the combat done. Let's do this one first. Okay, I missed because I had to roll a 4 or lower, and I rolled a 5. Now he's gonna, if he rolls a 2, no, yeah, look, I killed him, but he killed my bomber back. That was expensive. If I wasn't doing this, I wouldn't have did that just to show you guys how that would work. All right, let's look at Russia. This is the big battle. If I get this, I think I'm locking the game up here. Well, maybe not locking up, but it's going to make my life a whole lot easier. Okay, 8, 9. Okay, look at all my rolls. Now I got 7 casualties I have to allocate. I'm putting them all in my tanks. Remain. Only 2. I'm going to win. Look at that. 7 and 3 planes. He's only got 1 left. I went fast. There you go. I got him. Now, why was that important? It was important because, and that was really expensive, man. I mean, look at all the units. I only got 3 planes and 4 tanks left because I could relax now a little. I don't have to worry about Russia ganking me from the east, right? Maybe now I could put all my efforts into moving south and defending, and getting a good defensive position in Western Europe, right? So non-combat, I got to move my planes. So let's move my planes. I'm going to pull them into the Caucasus and start defending down here and start moving. I'm going to eventually move guys down here. If Japan doesn't take these, I'm going to take these next round. But Japan's probably going to take these, and you know what? That's fine because Japan could use the credits for the West Coast attack. Let's move these infantry out. Start defending the West Coast. All right, I think we're good. All right, now we'll start placing. So I got to put 2 tanks down here because that's the most I could put. Let's put 3 tanks into the Caucasus, and the rest I'm piling into Germany. I'm going to start plussing up Norway too when I get comfortable. Okay, 61. See, I went from 40 in the beginning of the game, and now I'm earning 60. 61. Oh, I got the hiccups. Yep. It bombs me again, of course. He took Kazakhstan in English, which is fine. Yep, and I knew Japan's going to try to take over those Russian territories. Oh, he's attacking, and he won. Cool. I'm seeing the battle over here. Yep, this is pretty classic for Japan to roll right to Alaska, get a good beachhead on Alaska, and attack into Canada. It's tough. He's got to, when you're doing, you got to have like a conveyor belt, kind of like what he's doing here with units. Cool. 18. Well, I got to do it. Let's go defensive. I still want to make 2 for down here. Maybe do 4. We'll do a plane. 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 1. Perfect. That should be more than enough. And then I could start building planes and bombers and stuff. And then the last thing I'm going to do is build up my Navy. Okay. Combat. Where am I attacking? 7. 4, 5, 6, 7. Not ready for that. All right, let's start getting these guys into position. You start earning your keep here. I mean, really, I probably shouldn't be this. I probably shouldn't be this aggressive, but you know what the hell with that? I'm doing it. I'm branching out in the 3 different ways. Being a little rash. I probably should have only went 1 or 2 ways. You can overextend yourself. We'll see. I had enough units. Okay. Japan took Kazakhstan, but they didn't take these 2. So guess what? I'm taking them. All right, he'll get those 2. I'm going to start pressuring south. That locks up the whole Middle East and Iran, right? And then I could start really defending up and getting a good entrenchment in Persia and start really pressuring England and India. And then same thing. Japan's going to start coming in from Burma, Myanmar today, and then start pressuring from both sides and get because once India goes, that's it. I mean, you pretty much the game is over. What am I doing here? All right, I'm going to pull a plane down here. Can I attack? No, I don't have enough space. All right, I think I'm okay. Let's pull that guy over there. I'm going to put a bunch of units in Germany that'll defend Germany proper so he doesn't come in and roll in up here through the Baltic. Sorry, guys. I should really be talking about. I'm just looking at the map here when I'm kind of picturing what I'm doing here. I'm just really just trying to keep these guys bottled up. I'm really not too concerned about these 3 in Morocco, but I definitely want to take and make a good defensive place here in Algeria. If I knock these 2 down, and I'm making a good, I'll see about that. He's probably going to roll up there and attack. Ugh. All right, we'll see. I don't know. All right, I'm going to pull out of Sudan. Now that I thought about that, I'm undoing Sudan. All right, I pulled everything. You know why? Because I'm going to pull all these guys back here. He's going to extend and try to take all these back, and then I'm going to hit him once I get more units in here. These 2 units will, if they win, they're going to go back here. These fighters are going to go down here. I'm going to put 2 tanks in here. These guys should win. We'll just stay there. Okay, that's my goal for Africa. Build up in Egypt so I could gank these guys. As I just saw these fighters too, which will help. The American fighters will help these guys, and then I'm going to start pulling these units down south. Caucasus will start loading up here, tanks and planes, and I'm going to start defending here. Okay. Okay, let's do that. I'm trying to get Africa now. All right, let's see what Persia. Start with Persia. All right, good. I killed him, and he didn't kill any of my guys. Let's try to do this again. Let's go to Algeria. Good, and I took one of my tanks out. So here you go. Happens, but at least I won. Let's go to Jordan. All right. Well, I missed everything, and he missed too. Oh, I killed him. Does he get? Nope. I just killed him, and he didn't hurt me back. Sometimes the dice are on your side. Where is up? I'm going to try to take these 2 now. These should fall fairly easy. Yep, because there's only one measly Russian unit in each one of these. Perfect. These guys are going to roll down south. These guys are going to roll into Karelia and help defend Scandinavia. Non-combat. These planes got to roll back. They're going to roll back in the Caucasus. These two are going to roll back into Libya. He's going to roll back into Egypt. He's going to roll to Egypt. Perfect. Wow. I got a lot of planes there. I got more planes than I thought. 6 planes. Okay. Cool. I'm not complaining. Okay. Now we're into placement. I'm going to put 2 tanks into Egypt. I'm going to put a lot of tanks into Caucasus. And the rest I'm going to throw into Germany. Good. That's a good defensive position in Germany. I want to shore up here. I'm going to put some units over here in Karelia in the next couple of rounds. All right. I think we're good. 64. Let's see what the UK is doing. All right, the UK is attacking me in the Middle East, and they won. In Persia, they won here, but it was really expensive for them. So my units there. Oh, now Japan is coming in and ganking them, and won. Good for them. They're going to start rolling into Burma. I just got to give them, and this is when you really got to help out. You can have 5 people play, up to 2 to 5 people can play this game. And for example, if I'm playing Axis, I could play both Japan, and I might do that next time, Japan and Germany, and you help each other, right? Or vice versa. 12. Vice versa. Like one tactic that the United States and the UK tries to do is Germany's going to try to gank the Soviet Union, right? So what they do is they take all their planes and they try to swing them over and shore up the Soviet Union as fast as possible. So the United States and UK try to fly planes into Karelia, for example. That was a big battle I just saw over there there's huge. They killed a lot. Both sides killed a lot. There was huge navies in here. I shouldn't have closed that window. You would have saw all those ships that got killed over here from Japan and the United States. Okay. All right. So I repaired all those. What do I want to buy? I want to buy at least 4 armor. Now I'm going to start building bombers now. And then an artillery. Okay. Good. Now I'm building planes and bombers now. I'm not so much worried about infantry and artillery and stuff. And I'm lightening up on armor. So it's 8 units. I'll start rolling my guys this way. Look at that. The United States just landed 12 units here. Wow. Okay. Yeah, I'm backing up then. Start rolling my tanks. Remember I said I was pulling my tanks out? Actually, these are non-combat moves. I'm not really attacking anything anymore. That's 4. That's too much. I'm wondering what's the best way for me to do this. So I'm going to keep building guys in Caucasus and rolling them down through the Middle East and throwing them into Egypt until I get enough, and start rolling planes down here too. All right, there's no combat. I bombed this guy. Why did I not do that? All right. That was a mistake, but that's okay. Okay. Let's plus these guys up. All right, I just rolled them there. Okay, sorry guys, I'm not talking a lot. All right, we'll throw the bombers here. Want 2 more tanks. We'll put 2 more tanks here, and then we'll put an artillery here. Okay. There's no immediate danger here of invasion yet. Maybe, but that's okay. Even if they took Germany, I can take them back with all the units that are here. That's what I would do. I would move into for UK and take these guys, which I should have killed last round, and I didn't. Yep. So what did I tell you? And going into Germany. They're not going to hold it. They can't hold it. All right. Let me show you the battle that's going. They're attacking Germany. They can't hold it. I can't. I'll lose the game if they keep it. 4 casualties. It's gonna suck. Kill my bombers. They can't hold it down. I should have never moved item guys out of there. I always do that, and I always lose Germany at least once. I'm not too worried. They can't hold. All right. I'm looking at they're attacking me in Libya right here. Yeah. Well, I'm hurting them. They won, but I did a lot of casualties. Oh, they attacked Italy. Americans attacked Italy. Okay. Let's roll these guys down. 2 and 2, 3, 4. Okay, that'll take these back. All right, they rolled everybody down here. And they're starting to expand that way. Okay. I'm just taking the lay of the land. All right, my whole goal here with this round is to take this back. That's fine. Okay. Getting a little aggressive here, but that's okay. All right, mostly I want to get Germany. All right. Center. Let's do Italy. Yep. I'll take it back. That's fine. That was pretty easy. Let's go to Germany. That's the one that gives me the most agita. Take 2 tanks. That's fine. Take 2 infantry. That's fine. Okay, I got it back. Libya. Cool. Now, Somalia. Okay. The only reason I did this is because these guys are still rolling in here. I'm really nervous. The America's really rolling a lot of units into Africa. That's the first time in a long time I've seen that. Let's pull my planes back. Okay. All right. Now, here's the thing: is since I didn't have Germany, I couldn't do anything. But I should have a crap ton of credits next round to build stuff. I always lose Germany at least once. It's because I'm not careful. Yeah, they're not going to keep France. They can't. Oh, they got what? They got caucuses? Oh, it's gonna be hard. I didn't think they were gonna do that. Usually, the UK is not that aggressive. They're attacking in Libya. They won, but they lost all their units in Libya. All their ground units. All right. I need at least 4 tanks. Maybe 6 tanks. I'm going to put a crap ton into infantry and artillery. It's fine. Done. Okay. So let's get France out of their hands. I don't have any planes. Can I do that? No, it's too far away. I'll move some planes out there later. I'm going to build that. That'll take care of things next round into here because he's going to roll out. Because as soon as Japan starts pressuring India again, he's going to roll back. My tanks roll in here, taking those down one by one. All right. So what I'm trying to show you here is a reason why I'm branching out from Egypt, even though there's a lot of guys down here, is that's a target of opportunity. That one guy, and I could roll my armor back. There's only 1 infantry in these areas. Oh, excuse me. And there's no immediate threat here, and there's no immediate threat here. So these are all targets of opportunity. And again, I'm pressuring India so I can roll out of Caucasus because I'm going to take Caucasus back. They can't hold it. Done. All right. So let's say Netherlands. Good. Good. That was costly, but I got it back and I killed everybody there. Let's go to France. That was good too. All right, I got all those. He's down here. Yeah, I knew that. Oh, he took a tank out. Oh. All right. And then let's go look at Jordan. And he took a tank out too. Oh, that sucks. All right. Non-combat moves. We got to get the plane. Get the plane up here. I want to get a plane up in Germany. Pull him back. Actually, I'm going to put a plane up in 2 planes in Germany. Start really taking defense a little bit more serious. Okay. Well, I'm definitely going to put 2 tanks here. I'm going to put 4 tanks here because I'm going to roll south, and then the rest I'm going to put all defense in Germany. I'm going to put these 2 in there just to try to hold this guy back a little bit. All right, let's see what comes about next round. Getting a little nervous about the Caucasus, to be honest with you. He bombed. Oh, so he strategically bombed. He meaning Britain. But remember, I said if you have artillery, I shot down his one of his bombers, which was nice. All right, here's why is it full screen like that? Yeah, that was in India. So so Japan's attacking India and took it. Japan took India. Nice. That's what he gets. Now, this is why I thought America's attacking Karelia. All right, I'm going to repair Germany. I'm going to repair all Russia. Okay, done. Now I got to go back on offensive. I'm going to put everything in the tanks. Well, not everything, but a lot of stuff in the tanks. Done. All right, combat. Oh, let's see. Where do I want you to go? A lot of units here. Well, first of all, got to get him out of Karelia. All right, let me go back to that. Pull this guy back. Pull you back. Pull you back. I'm going to attack you just out of sheer F-uness. I got to get both of these knocked down. One, two, three, four. There's a lot of planes here. Only two here. All right, I'm going to do this. I'm going to take Karelia down. All right, so the reason why I'm doing this is I want to secure this area a little bit more. Japan is still out there helping, and I'm kind of pressuring up from Persia. So this, if they're smart, the United States is smart, UK, they're going to start pulling units at air units out of here. They may be trapped. I don't think they can. Kind of holding up here again in Egypt. There's just a lot of units out here. I'm just going to keep building tanks and making it difficult for Egypt to get taken. Of course, keep shoring up Europe, and then just keep taking a couple rounds to get Europe all squared away. This was a mistake. That surprised me. The Caucasus is falling so fast. I didn't think they would roll out of India. So there's two big mistakes. Okay, that was Persia. Okay, so I killed him, but I didn't take territory, which is fine. Let's see, where am I here? Okay, so this is Netherlands, the low countries, if you will. Good. Only one casualty, and then Karelia. This is gonna be tough. Huh? I got it. Okay. All right, so the plane's got to come out. I'll pull him into Russia to help defend. He's got to come out. Can I go to Russia? He go to Russia too. He goes in Germany. I think that's it. Okay, so who's going to go where? So I need a lot of tanks. I'll keep 2 in Egypt, which is the maximum I could build. And then, again, I'm going to shore up Germany. I'm going to keep shoring up Germany. Okay, 58. Let's see. Got to get the Caucasus down. Got to knock that down. Kind of annoyed at that. Yeah, see how he rolled through? Oh, the UK rolled through there. Oh, wow, he's attacking me in Karelia. Oh, what happened to my... Every time I move this over, it like makes it all wonky. It's got to be my multi-monitor setup. Next time I stream, I'm going to turn off multi-monitor. All right, they're battling me here in Germany. Wow. Even with all those defensive units, he did that? Oh man, this turned fast. This game turned really quick. If I can't keep Germany, the game's over. At least Japan's really helping. All right, I'll give it a couple rounds. Let's see how that is. Because they're only single units up here. And the problem is Japan's going to start sucking out my European income if I'm not careful. Yeah, I can't build anything because Germany, my capital's taken. What can I do here? 2. 2, 3. I mean, this is really a Hail Mary at this point. 1, 2. Okay, no, that's good. What about here? Hail Mary. That's fine. It's fine for now. Win Carolia. Come on. No, I didn't win it, but I made him hurt. But I gotta win this one. All right, got Germany back. No, that wasn't enough. So I feel like the Battle of the Bulge, wasn't enough to hold it. All right, now in combat, I'm going to get everything into Germany. All right, that's enough for now because there's not enough units up here. Non-combat's fine. All right. I think it's a downward slide. Yep. Oh, they shifted everything from Scandinavia down. I should have saw that. What time is it anyway? It's almost midnight. Ugh. I'm streaming for 2 hours. I do this. I figured I only want to stream for an hour or play a game or make a video, and then once we're getting 2-3 times longer than I want it to be. I guess that's good. If you guys want to watch it, that's fine. I mean, the game is over at this point. You can't once. Here's the thing: is once Europe is breached, that's it. The United States is gonna. You can see the United States is gonna outproduce you. I mean, UK ain't gonna. All UK has to do, and all the thing UK can do, is to defend, and keep this this floating aircraft carrier here in the Atlantic, and keep it from falling. I'm doing a battle here. But you see how that turned, and what really turned it. 2 things that turned it is I under defended Germany, which is a dumb mistake. That's like a rookie mistake. And the Caucasus, he really surprised me about the Caucasus. I didn't think he was going to roll out of India. Now, that might have worked. I'm basically ending it here. This is the end of the game. Look at this. I can't win from here, but I'm doing a hindsight. I'm doing like a when the army would say AAR, after action review. What would have this wouldn't have hurt me so much, because as soon as he rolled, or UK, the computer rolled out of the Caucasus, Japan rolled right in and then took him through Kazakhstan and took him through Burma, right? And then same thing here in Karelia. When he went into Finland, for example, I could just roll through Russia and Karelia and defend it. Even if Karelia fell, I could have went from Germany. But as soon as Germany fell, man, that first time, that really hurt. That hurt bad. And that's about it. Now let's take a look at. See, at this point, in order to really win, Japan really needs more of a navy. Like, look, there's almost no Navy in here. And again, the United States is making a conveyor belt of just units rolling into Africa and rolling into uh, Western Europe. And they're really kind of almost ignoring uh, uh, Japan. And Japan should have already had a firm hand foothold into Alaska and maybe even British Columbia, right, in this area, and they don't. So this game, I can already tell from playing this game dozens and dozens of times. Yeah, it's a done deal, and Japan should have had Australia by now. All right, guys, I hope that helps. I'll edit the stream a little bit and making it better and better. Like I said, I'll tighten up my little screen here a little bit. I'm gonna load up OBS, and I'm gonna get that working and see if I get that a little bit better and a little bit tighter. This is the only 6 stream I've ever done, so we're still learning how to do it. And we're gonna try Japan next time, and I think I'm gonna try the Steam version, which is a bit more. It's got more bells and whistles. It's got more, the dice rolling and stuff. It's a bit easier to look at if you're not an Access and Analyze aficionado, right? And this is more of a game. AAA is more of a game if you really know the rules and exercise, and you just want to play over and over and over again. You want to play a quick 1 hour game and win it. All right, guys. Thanks a lot. Good learning experience.